Mm. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa 914, which is the county, New York. Doing another live video real quick. I'm not going to be up here that long. I just got one question. What kind of world are we living in? Let's ask the question again. What kind of world are we living in? I was looking on these YouTube streets and like I mentioned the other day, there is a YouTube creator. He's a male YouTube creator. And he did this, I think, a year ago. He interviewed Michelle Blair, the woman, aka that is also known as the Freezer Mom. And this woman has called from prison, I don't know how many times, to talk to him. He calls himself having an interview with her. This woman don't need to be heard. Is all over the internet what this woman did back in 2015. Well, she was exposed in 2015. She was exposed. And I don't mean no harm. Someone like her don't need to be in fucking prison. They need to be in a wood chipper. Need to be in a wood chipper. I'm dead ass serious. It's just some people that you cannot reform. You can't do nothing with. I understand that she got 2 life sentences. That's not enough for someone like her. That's not enough for someone like her. She needs to be put in a wood chipper instead of a prison cell. Because I think it's a waste of state payer money. But if the state of Michigan wants to do that, they are more than welcome to do it. But I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed of what kind of people. I already know what kind of population we got that's in the prison system. I've been there, but I wasn't there for some crime like the way she was. My crime was a robbery charge, strong arm robbery back in what, 1994. I went in front of Judge Schuler. Judge Schuler gave me my time. I was released, what, in 2001. Not on parole, not on probation. I had maxed my time out. And yesterday, as I was walking home, I ran into a homegirl of mine, and we had did time together. We had did time together a couple of years ago. She didn't remember me, but I remembered her. I'm very good with faces, and I hardly ever forget a name. I'm very good with faces. I hardly ever forget a name. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Thursday to everyone. Happy Thursday to everyone. I hope everyone has an awesome day today. As we know, the election season is almost upon us. And I heard on the radio, on the Steve Harvey show, yesterday morning, that a lot of celebrities are backing Vice President Harris. Now, I don't know what is their true intention on backing her or supporting her or, doing anything on their platforms for her. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with these people that call themselves celebrities. but it's always been my opinion. Anytime they have an opinion about, especially if it's a collective opinion about something, it's usually the wrong thing. See, Steve Harvey, he's on his radio station talking about this and that. He's talking about Vice President Harris, knowing damn well that this woman is not going to do nothing for the black community, knowing damn well that this woman is not going to do the right thing if she's getting voted in to the presidency, if she gets voted in. I'm not here to tell people how to vote, what to believe in. You can do what you want, but do your research on these people. Do your research. And Trump, I'm not too crazy about him neither. I am not too crazy about him neither. So it is what it is. I just asked the question, what kind of world are we living in? What kind of world is this? The price of food is going up. I mean, I know that this country is in debt to certain other countries. I know that there is a lot of concern about what's going on with the stock market and the American dollar. But didn't the United States, with all her evil policies, go up against Gaddafi? Wasn't they behind the death of Gaddafi? Gaddafi was over there in his country in Africa. He wanted to get rid of the American dollar. He didn't want to deal with the American dollar. He was trying to get the rest of the world to go and back their monies with gold or start using gold. No more paper money. They didn't want that. The United States couldn't have that. They felt threatened. So what did they do? They was behind the death of Gaddafi. They definitely was behind the death of Saddam Hussein, their main puppet in Iraq. And it's so surprising to me. Not really so surprising to me that this government that's over us can have allies across the ocean for a couple of years, and then when the person doesn't do what they want them to do, that ally is no longer a friend. They become an enemy. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. We are living in a world where principalities, unknown shadow government is ruling over all of us. We come to this YouTubes to entertain or to give information. And some of us got a heaviness in our heart when we do it because we know what kind of world we live in. This is why we come to social media, to escape from the realities of the world that we live. We didn't create this world. I didn't create this. This world was here way before I was even thought of to be born. Shout out to the chat. But I am responsible for certain things, like voting in certain politicians on a lower level. That means mayor, city council, governor, and the list goes on and on and on. But I'm telling you, politics is so corrupt, you don't know who you fucking voting in. All these people running all these campaigns raising all this money to fool me and you, to put the wool over our eyes. I think I asked on my community wall, why doesn't the black community have a working union party? Why don't they have a Pan-African Union party on their own? Those two parties would be separate from the Democrats and the Republicans. We don't need to be flying with neither one of those parties, because neither one of those parties has any good policies that's coming up for us. There was a pastor giving out a sermon speech the other day. There's a YouTuber that does those speeches that some of these pastors do. And I think this particular pastor is against Vice President Harris. Okay, I heard the stuff that he said. My thing is, if you're gonna use your pulpit, to talk about what's going on in the government, and there's a lot of churches that do it. They got a lot of mouth when it comes to worldly issues, but they don't want to be taxed. They don't want the same government that they're talking against to tax them. I believe, and this is my belief, if the United States was to say, since they go back on everything else that they do, if they was to say today or tomorrow, since all these pulpits are saying this and saying that, they're getting involved with politics, we should start taxing them. They should start taxing these churches. Because he said, that pastor, he said a lot of untruths the other day. And it seems like, and I don't mean no harm, it just seems like certain people like to target the LGBTQ community. It seems like there's a lot of pastors that like to target us. I've been a part of that community for over 20 years. I'm not about to leave because you want me to leave. I'm not about to change my mind because you want me to change my mind. It's my right to love who I want to love, and it's your right to mind your fucking business and don't worry about who's in my fucking bedroom or not. See, a lot of them be talking out of the side of their mouth and don't know what the fuck they talking about. And why they're talking about the LGBTQ community is because they're concerned about the transsexual stuff that's going on. Don't you know a lot of us in the community, in the gay community, does not agree with the transsexual operations for children or nobody else. It is discouraged. A lot of the older generation, they discourage it. A lot of people don't know the LGBTQ community has been divided on a lot of different issues. And certain things that certain people are pushing that are in our community, we don't push for. A lot of us talk up against it. We're not riding with this. We're not riding with that just because those people are part of the gay community or have been a part of the gay community for a couple of years. That doesn't, just because we're in one movement together does not mean we're all singing together. Does not mean that we're all holding hands together. It does not mean we're doing the kumbaya. They get it all twisted. Because there's a lot of things that happens in the gay community that I do not fucking agree with. Not at all. I can't stop people from doing what they want to do. to their own bodies. The only thing I can do is warn against it. Warn against it. When you go out and have those surgeries, just know that you stand the risk of having some kind of infection that you will not be able to get healed from. There's certain things that goes with those operations I do not agree with. I have never agreed with it. I will not agree with it at all. I don't think that children should be transforming at all. Let those children grow up. Let them make up their own minds. We got a lot of sick people that is in the LGBTQ community. Some of them need to be put in the wood chipper. As radical as they are, trust me, I know how radical they are and how radical they can become. When an argument ensues between me and one of the radical ones, trust me, it ain't no backing down. It ain't no backing down. I think I fight with more of the people in the community than the straight community. But my problem came from the heterosexuals. You should have kept your hands to yourself when I was 9 years old. Instead of violating me when I was a child, the heterosexual community should have kept their fucking hands to them fucking selves. Maybe I wouldn't have the mindset I have today. But I'm 51 years old, so I make my own decisions now. I do what I need to do now. A shout out to the chat. Yeah, but I just want it understood. The gay community is not united like the way it is portrayed. And all these pastors, all these preachers sitting in these fucking pulpits judging us. You judging men and women that have nothing to do with what's going on in your church or what's going on in certain parts of the world. We don't have no real power. Everything Obama gave the LGBT community a few years ago, allowing certain people to marry each other, that was done, that was pushed for, not because people loved each other. It was a money issue. A lot of you don't realize. Okay, let's give a complete example. Let's say that I'm living here in my apartment, right? And I go out and I get me a good paying job. A good paying job. I'm not talking about a $20 hour paying job. I'm talking about a salary paying job, right? Let's say everything changes for me and I get involved with a woman. She's going to want my health benefits. She's going to want my money. She's going to want everything. Now, if something happens to me, right, and I stop breathing, I stop living, and that woman was living with me, that woman was my partner for a couple of years, don't you know she's going to fight tooth and nail to get my pension or to get whatever money that was owed to me or that was coming to me? There are some women that will attach themselves to you, not because they love you or they so interested in being with you. They're interested in what they can get out of you. It's the same thing the heterosexual community goes through. I remember when they started first pushing for same-sex marriage. I was against it. I was against it. There was plenty of other people in the community that was against same-sex marriage, but they don't talk to you about that. They group us all together. Shout out to the chat. That's why I come up here with the question, what kind of world are we living in? What kind of world are we living in? And I'm going to tell you something. People are not united like the way they used to be. People are not united like the way they used to be. And we got a lot of young people who are being released from the penitentiary. They're coming into this world. They're not concerned about what's going on in politics or what's going on in these YouTube streets. They're more concerned about how am I going to feed myself and how am I going to take care of my family. We got a lot of young people coming out of the penitentiary. They haven't maxed out their sentence. A lot of them are on parole. I have run into them on my job plenty of times. And I always encourage each one, don't stick with this temp service too long. You're going to get bored. You're going to fall right back into the life that you just came from. Go get your... Yesterday, one of the young men that was working with me, perhaps he's going to start working with the electricians that was out there yesterday. And the way the man was talking about the company, it is going to be so sweet for this young man if he decides to actually apply. They're paying good money to be an electrician helper. Oh my God. And he was like, Arabia, you can do it too. And I was like, baby, it's already too late for me. It's too late. I can change my occupation, yes. But am I going to be happy within the occupation that I go into when I leave the temp company? But I need to start pushing myself. But I get bored easy. I get bored and I get frustrated real easy. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't. But I'm out of here. I hope everyone has an awesome day. And I want to thank all my subscribers, my new subscribers, my old subscribers. I want to thank my support team. I want to thank my YouTube creators for making my YouTube experience amazing, wonderful, breathtaking. I truly enjoy each and every last one of you. I appreciate your support. And I thank you for listening with me this morning and spending some time with me this morning. As I was watching my chat, I seen some of my ghost watchers. I don't know who's listening to these videos half of the time, but I hope you're learning something from them. So I leave you with good morning. Have a wonderful day. We shall see you in the next video, or perhaps in someone else's chat. Ciao, y'all. One.